Good evening, everybody. Welcome. How's everybody doing? Hope good. So what you need tonight for our chair yoga or yoga on the ball, if you want it a little bit more challenging, you don't need a yoga mat. I'm just going to fold that up in front of me. So maybe a yoga block if you happen to have one at home, but a chair with no sides, so no handrests, just an open chair each side. If you don't have that, sit on a couch is fine. No shoes, but if you're not comfortable with that, it's perfectly fine to have on a pair of socks or shoes if you'd like. Comfortable clothes. My name is Suzanne, and we're going to do about 35 minutes of yoga either sitting on a chair or with the ball, an exercise ball if you have one. So a block or a couple of books just right in front of your feet to start. So again, my name is Suzanne. I work for MVP in the Villages here in Florida down at Brownwood. So welcome everybody. So if you're sitting on a exercise ball, you want to make sure that your knees are lower than your hips. So if this is the first time you're using it or you've pulled out your exercise ball from your garage, next time just blow it up. One time isn't going to hurt you, but just make sure that from here on out you find some way to blow it up so that your hips are higher than your knees. So everybody's just going to sit comfortably on whatever you're sitting on. Palms up or down depending on where the sun is. So if the sun is still up, your palms are up. Let's shut your eyes. If you want to play your own background music, that would be fantastic. So in yoga, any type of yoga, for the majority of the time, we breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. So we're going to spend just a couple of moments just trying to relax yourself from your day, bringing all that focus and attention to your breath, filling up your whole body with your inhale, and letting go of all of your breath on your exhale. Your eyes are shut. So maybe you're noticing all these little thoughts going around in your head. Totally normal, perfectly normal, especially right now. So let's just start to clear them away. Maybe imagine that there's a little box next to you, and just one by one set those worries, fears, thoughts, anything that's going on in that head. Just push them into that box. Imagine that the lid shuts, and then push that block away so that you can't reach it. And come back to your breath. So relax those shoulders down away from your ears. See if you can push your hips down a little bit more into your chair or your ball. Rise up through your spine. Get your belly to inflate on your inhale. Pull that belly button in to let go of your exhale. And then let's turn your palms down on your thighs if they're not already there. If you're on your ball and you want to bring your feet closer together, please feel free to do that. That will make it a little bit harder to balance. If you need to take them wider, perfectly fine. You're going to just tip your head over to one side, come back up to center, and over to the opposite side. So eyes still shut, and just dropping your head side to side. Just noticing how the right side of your neck feels versus the left. Maybe spending a half count more as you drop your head, thinking about relaxing that shoulder down away from your ears. When your head gets over to the right, let's leave it there. Drop your chin down to your chest, roll your head around in a little half circle, and then over to the opposite side. And then back down to center and over to the other side. And then just repeat that, doing a little half circle on your own breath. So with your eyes shut, you do not need to match my movements. I'm a firm believer that we all have our own breathing pattern. So you do what feels right for you with your breath. Your chin is going to be down at your chest. You're going to leave it right there. You're going to bring your hands back behind your back. Bring your knuckles down to the chair, looking down at your lap, and then on an inhale breath, raise your chin up. And then nod your chin back down. Do that 2 more times. Inhaling up and exhaling down. 1 more time. All right, coming back to just a neutral position. Again, eyes open or shut. We're going to bring your palms together in the front, pulling your shoulder blades apart. Then you're going to open up your arms, pulling your shoulder blades together. Then bring your palms back together, and then open them up on an inhale. So your mid and upper back is flexing and extending. So if you're sitting on that ball, it's moving a little bit. It's getting a little bit harder to balance, so you're really going to have to think about your core strength here. And then when your palms get back together in front, let's leave your hands there. Let's interlace your pinky, your ring, and your middle finger into what I call the Charlie's Angel Mudra. And then you're going to inhale your arms all the way up and breathe. So you're going to really try to reach up, but instead of taking those shoulders way up, you're going to relax them down. Maybe that means your elbows bend a little bit. That's fine. And then you're just going to try to lean over to one side. You're going to come back through center on an inhale, and you're going to exhale as you lean over to the other side. And then just repeat that. Again, just on your own breath. So again, if you're on that ball, it's going to make it a little harder to move. So if you need to put a hand down on the ball and just kind of rotate arm and then arm, that's fine. Whatever feels good, all we're really trying to do is lengthen your torso and warm up your spine laterally. So again, whatever feels good. If your both arms are up, you're just working on some strength, some isometric holding with those arms up. When they get up to center again, whenever that is for you, and whenever you're ready to take an exhale, you're going to let your hands just come down nice and slow. You're going to bring your palms back up to center, inhaling, and exhale back down. And this time we're going to add a twist. So inhale up, twist to whatever side feels right, and just drop your hands down. Come back up, and then twist to the other side. So if you have a back on your chair, which you probably do, it's going to impede your hand and your arm back there a little bit. So perfectly fine to just come down to the side with that other arm. And that arm, so this would be my left arm coming in front, my right arm out to the side. All right, one more time on each side. Fill up your whole body with your breath. All right, when you get back to center, both hands are going to be down at your side. You're just going to hold on right next to your chair or on the ball, and you're going to bring your heels just a little bit closer to you, and we're just going to lift one leg. So maybe this leg, for me, this is my left. I can't ever really tell with the camera whether it's your right or left, so any way you want, just pick a leg, extend it out, and then just rebend it. So let's point as you extend, flex, and bend. So point, flex, and bend. Inhaling, and then exhaling. So again, on the ball, it's going to be a little difficult. If you need to lower the foot all the way back down to get your balance, perfectly fine. If it doesn't feel hard at all for you on the ball or even on the chair, if you want to try to shut your eyes. We're going to go one more time and just place that foot back down on the floor. Pick up your other leg, point your toes straight, flex, and bend. So just trying to warm up your legs. Still sitting up nice and tall, so no slouching. If you need to place your hand on your thighs, actually you could also bring your arms up overhead, making that a little bit more challenging. Whatever you need to do, it is your yoga practice. I am just a guide. You're just going to make sure that things don't cause you pain as you're working through whatever I tell you to do. Let's do this 2 more times. All right, and then both feet on the floor. Let's take your feet wide. So, and let's sit on the edge of your ball or on the edge of your chair. You're going to bring your elbows down onto your thighs. Make sure that your spine stays long. So when your eyes are open, you're looking a little bit in front of your feet. If you have a block or that book or a stack of books or nothing is perfectly fine. You're just going to try to just come down a little bit more. You're going to start to feel it in your inner thighs, your groin area, until maybe you can put your hands on the floor. Maybe it's on a book. You can adjust it however you need to. Maybe your trash can, so I'm in my little office and I have a trash can over there that I could pull over to use. You can get very creative with your home workouts. And please remember, we're just going to keep on going down as far as you can, thinking about lengthening your spine on inhales and folding further at your hip every time you exhale. So what I started to say was, please remember that you can always cobble things together at home to do a workout. But once all this virus stuff is over, please remember that it's much more fun to work out in groups. So we'll all look back, or all look forward to getting back together soon. So see if you can put your chin to your chest, looking at your ball or through your chair. Make sure that you can wiggle your toes so you're not gripping the floor so tightly. And then slowly come back up, putting your elbows back on your thighs, looking straight down. And then slowly coming all the way back up to a seated position. All right, you're going to bring your feet back together. You're going to move whatever is in front of you a little bit away. And we're going to take your right leg, or this leg, so maybe it's your left. We're going to put that out here with a bent knee. You're going to come onto the edge again. And this leg is going to go straight. So for those of you who know yoga, this is your warrior 1 or warrior 2 leg pose. And we're just going to try to turn your hips so that your, whatever leg this is for you, that butt cheek or rear end is sitting on your ball or sitting on your chair. You're going to try to bring your arms up overhead and think about pushing this thigh, this hip flexor, down and forward. So you're still resting on the chair, resting on the ball, using your core to keep you on that ball or chair. But if you can, and if you want, you don't even have to use the chair. You could just come off of it, holding onto the chair, and grounding that back heel down, which I guess you can't really see. And then you're in Warrior One. Okay. You're going to take one more breath. You're going to come back to center, and we're going to switch and go to the opposite side. So you're going to turn these toes in a little, and these toes out with this knee bent, and this back leg straight. So this knee should be over the ankle or a little bit behind. It should never be forward. Turn your hips so you start to feel this nice length here in that hip flexor on this back leg. Arm again. Arms can be up overhead or whatever feels good for you. If you need to hold on, if you want to come off that ball or off your chair and just hold on, you can do that. Again, you just do you and be happy about whatever that is. Nobody judges anybody in yoga, and you're just happy with whatever you're doing at the present moment. Let's take 2 more breaths. We're going to come back to center. You're going to take those legs wide, so they're already sort of wide anyways, and you're just going to walk down your legs again. So your legs stay straight this time instead of bent, and your spine stays nice and straight. So we're just going to do a little counter pose. Let's try to flex your feet, and then just looking in that same line of your feet, thinking about pushing back into your hips and up through the crown of your head. One more breath. Slowly walking your hands back up your legs, and then we'll do Warrior Two on this side. So it's going to be about the same legs that you had. This back leg is straight, this front knee is bent, your hips as far to this side as you can. Let's check that. This knee is the same, this leg is the same. Your hips actually turn towards me, and your arms go out for Warrior Two. So you make sure that those shoulders stay right over your hips, and your arms go straight out. You just glance over your middle finger on that side. For me, it is my left hand. You're pushing down into both feet. And again, you could come off the chair or the ball. You could hold on to it if you need to, because it is a bit of a balance. Should be able to see your big toe. One more breath. We're going to go to the other side. So these toes turn in, these toes turn out. This knee bends, this knee stays straight but not locked. Your hips and your shoulders towards me, your arms straight out. You're going to glance over your middle finger on that side. For me, it's my right. And adjust that foot just so you can see that. Knee over your ankle, not forward of it. And again, pop off your chair or your ball if you want. Make sure that back arm is straight back, and make sure you're not here leaning forward. Again, shoulders always over your hips. And breathe. 2 more breaths wherever you are. All right, coming back to center again. Let's bend the knees, feet wide, and then we're just going to come forward again. So this time, let's just try to drape down, looking through your chair or at your ball. Maybe putting your hands down on the floor, maybe just putting them on your legs. But just kind of round your mid and upper back. Do not round at your low back. So kind of tip your pelvis forward and just kind of hang down here as you think about lengthen your spine and then sort of relaxing your head as you look down through your chair. All right, one more breath. On an inhale, slowly start to walk back up to a seated position, and we'll do one more warrior pose. So these toes again face this way. The back leg straightens, so just like we were set up before. This time we're going to do what we call Sun Warrior or Exalted Warrior. So you're going to try to keep the hips facing this side, and we're going to bring this arm up and around, and then your back arm up. So your right arm reaches down for your right leg, left arm reaches up. So whatever knee is bent, that arm is up. Whatever leg is back, that arm is back. You feel nice length in your torso. You push down into both feet. And breathe. See if you can get yourself a little taller. See if you can reach your fingers to your ceiling. One more breath. Slowly come out of that. Turn your feet to the other side. So this knee bends again. This leg goes straight. Your toes turn in a little. And then you bring that front arm up and around. And then the back arm up as you reach down with the back arm, up with the front arm. Switch that. Down with the front arm, up with the back arm. Lengthen through that torso and breathe. Eyes open or shut. Two more breaths. Push down into those feet. Slowly come out of that. Come back to center. Bring your feet all the way back to center. Let's do a big inhale up and a big exhale down. One more time. Inhale up and a big exhale down. All right, so we're going to try to do a little balance pose. So you have your chair to help you. We're going to do Warrior 3. So we did Warrior 1 and 2. We did the Exalted Warrior, which is also called Sun Warrior. So now we're going to try to do Warrior 3. So with that ball or your chair, with the chair, I just want you to turn it, or just stand behind it is fine. Let me see, I'll just turn this about right here. With the ball, you're just going to hold the ball in front of your body. So let's all do the same leg. Put your right foot down on the floor, about maybe 2 feet from your ball or from the chair, maybe a little bit further away. You're going to hold on to your chair. You're going to take your left leg and start to hike it back. And then you're going to start to fold forward at your hip, and you're going to try not to fall over. So if you need to adjust back a little bit, because what I'd like you to be able to do is fold forward with that leg back and your arms straight, and maybe just a little bit of your fingertips touching. part of your chair or the ball. And of course, if you feel like you can do it without touching anything, that would be great. But if you're touching the chair, it is also great. Your balance is different all the time. And all we're doing is just trying to work on it on a daily basis. Let's take one more breath. Bring that foot that's up down, probably in the same spot. Stand nice and tall, do a big shoulder roll, and we'll do the other side. So you're gonna bend forward, reach out for that chair or your ball, take your back leg, which is your right leg now. You're gonna lift that straight back. So you wanna avoid opening to the side and just lift it straight back until you feel maybe your hip starts to open. You don't want that. So you can just stop wherever that is. Your hips should be as even to the floor as possible. And you just look straight down. Standing leg slightly bent in your knee. And breathe. So 3 or 4 breaths here. See if you can lengthen your spine a little bit more. If you need to adjust your chair more forward, more back. One more breath. And then bring that foot down. Bring your chair or your self back to your chair or to the ball and have a seat. All right, so big inhale up again. Hands back down at your side. We're gonna take this leg and you're just gonna cross it over the opposite leg. So the best you can. If you need to straighten this leg a little bit more to make that more accessible, if you just want to cross it down at the bottom, maybe just at your ankle, that's fine. You should have felt that balance in your glutes, so we're going to try to stretch them. You're going to sit nice and tall, and then you're going to fold forward. So let's see about shutting your eyes. And breathing. Push back into your hips, up through your spine. Let's switch to the other side. So put that leg that was crossed down, cross the opposite leg, sit nice and tall, and then again, fold forward. So again, if that's not comfortable, just maybe cross at your ankles and come forward. You do, again, whatever feels right for you. Breathe. Eyes shut. One more breath. Sitting up nice and tall. I'd like you to just take your feet about hip distance apart, maybe a little bit wider. Come to the edge of your ball or your chair, and we're going to stretch those hamstrings. So I want you to just sit up nice and tall, and then just come down to wherever you feel the backs of your legs start to feel like they're getting stretched, and then just hang out there. Shut your eyes. Relax your shoulders. Flex your feet so that you're getting your calves stretched as well, and after you breathe a couple of times, probably you'll be able to go down just a little bit further. Don't force anything. Just let breath and gravity do all the work. One more breath. up to seated. I want you to take this leg and cross it over again. It's not a necessity to cross it over, so if you're more comfortable with just your feet flat on the floor, so if you're on the ball, this is going to be a little bit challenging. So cross as best you can, as tight as you can. Grab your leg on the top with this opposite hand, and then sit up nice and tall and twist. So see if you can look all the way back behind you. And even if your body doesn't twist, which we always twist at the waist, maybe your shoulders just go to the side, but let's try to turn your head, and then further still try to look back behind you. So you're stretching your eyes as well. Then you're going to come back to center nice and slow. You're going to take that other leg on top, as tight of a cross as you can, or no cross at all. Wrap that arm around, sit nice and tall on an inhale, and then exhale as you twist to the back. And again, as far as your body, upper body will go at your waist, and then turn your head, and then look a little bit more to the back with your eyes. One more breath, nice and tall. Use an exhale to come back to center. If you have the ability to turn off your lights wherever you are, please go ahead and do that. I'm just going to dim mine real quick. I just step in back here and turn that on and that off. Maybe I won't do that since that's a little bit too dark. So dim your lights if you can. Come back to your chair, or if you want to lay down on your couch or on your floor, we're just going to take a couple of moments nice and quiet. So palms up or down, whatever feels good. Wiggle your toes. So for about 2 minutes, just nice and quiet. That box that you put all those thoughts and distractions in is still outside of your reach. So don't let them come back into your head. Just come back to that deep breath. Filling up your whole body with your inhale. Letting go of all of your breath on your exhale. Just as quiet and as still as you can be. Just breathing. If you decided to lay down, come back up into a seated position. Everybody else, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, do a couple of shoulder rolls. And then from that seated position, we'll all take a couple of breaths together. So your hands are at your side. You're going to inhale up and a big ah as you exhale. You're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale up and exhale away. 1 more time. Inhale and exhale. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a have a fabulous rest of your day or evening, and I will see you later.